We're waiting for the public defender to join us. We've got the room opened, but the camera is off and the microphone is off. So we'll need some help from the jail staff. There we go.
Are we good?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. We've got trouble with the sound in this room and have had, but I think we can get through here.
Okay.
Judge Pattison and the public defender were seeking some improvements. I'm waiting for the public defender to join us, but are you Nicole A. Gunnels?
I am.
All right, I'll be with you in just a moment.
Okay.
Let me put you in the waiting room. Don't go away.
Okay.
Here's the public defender. All right, we're on the record. This is file 222357 SM, People versus Nicole A. Gunnels. Ms. Gunnels was charged with embezzlement over 200, but less than 1,000. The amount at issue was just under $3,000. Was charged as a misdemeanor 1-year offense. The defendant entered a plea to embezzlement less than $200. And the case has had kind of a tortured history since. Ms. Gunnels is currently in custody in the St. Joseph County Jail. And Matea Paycheck from the Public Defender's Office has joined us here by the Zoom feed. The case was filed in December of 2022. You got arrested in June of 2023, and you had posted a bond in Allegan County. So you didn't show up on June 20th, which was your arraignment day. So you called and asked about the court date, and we reset it for July 6th. On July 6th, you pled guilty to embezzlement less than $200 with restitution. I wanted to get the police report, check your probation status in Kalamazoo, and I set the matter for sentencing for August 14th. You failed to appear on August 14th. Your friend called and said that you were in the hospital. And we waited for a letter from the hospital. We set a show cause hearing from the bonding company. And then we got word from your bonding company that you were in jail in Kalamazoo County. You may have also had an issue in Allegan County. So let's see what we can sort out here. Have you been in the Kalamazoo County Jail?
Have.
You're gonna have to speak up. The sound's not too good here.
Okay. Yes. I did about 2 weeks in Kalamazoo County Jail.
Do you know when you went into the Kalamazoo County Jail?
August 28th.
All right, and then we got you on a writ yesterday. When were you brought here to St. Joe County?
Yes. Yesterday morning.
Are you done with Kalamazoo County?
I am. I'm done with Kalamazoo County.
What was the charge in Kalamazoo?
Absconding. I was still on probation. I hadn't seen my probation officer. I wasn't aware of that.
What was the original charge?
Violation probation.
No, but what were you on probation for?
Assault and failing to stop for an accident.
All right, what are the Allegan County charges?
Retail fraud misdemeanor.
Are those done?
I believe so. I just paid the bond for that. I am not aware of a future court date. I am to call them within the next 10 days.
All right, so you're on bond in Allegan.
Yes. Trying to take care of all my messes here.
Yes, there's a bunch of them. Do you have charges in any other jurisdictions?
No, sir, this is my last one.
Now, they said you were in the hospital on the 14th of August. What's that?
I have a heart condition. I'm actually scheduled for a procedure today. Doesn't look like I'm gonna make it. But yeah, I have a PFO and a history of supraventricular tachycardia. So my heart likes to run marathons when I'm sitting still.
I like sitting still rather than running a marathon.
I do too.
So, you had a Mendon address, then we have a Kalamazoo address.
Yeah,
Where do you,
Mendon is my former address with my ex-husband. We're separated, filing for divorce, and Kalamazoo is my current address.
so you got out of the hospital on August 14th or thereabouts,
Mhm.
somewhere after that, and you got arrested on the 28th. So between the 14th and the 28th, you never came back here. I think your bonding company was on your case.
Yeah,
I do, let me see, I think the bond I have is filed by a bond surety company.
yeah, I think I paid Allegan $510.
Well, that bonding company, who was J and J Bonding or something, at least J and J Bail Bonds, they at least looked for you. And they told us that you had been in the Kalamazoo jail.
Okay.
Anyway, I still need more information about this. We were gonna check on the status of your probation officers in Kalamazoo, but you're saying you've been discharged from Kalamazoo probation?
Yes, sir. Probation was revoked as of yesterday.
And they gave you time served?
Yes.
All right. I still need to know more about this. The allegation was it was about $3,000. They didn't charge it as a felony, and then they reduced it even further to embezzlement under
Yeah, so that one,
$200.
yeah, so when the loss prevention came in and questioned me about it, I was honest about everything. And I had plans and I was actually gonna pay it back. And because I didn't deny it or sugarcoat it for him, I explained my situation. It was a hard time. I was one of 5 adults living in the household, but I was the only one working, carrying 2 jobs, taking care of my family and my kids. And it was a really stressful time and things got behind and I acted way too fast without even thinking it through. So when I talked to the loss prevention about it,
the allegation was that it was 2,486.47, and then they said it was really 3,050.10. So we need to figure that out.
yeah.
So let me ask this.
Yeah.
Do you wish to continue your plea to the misdemeanor charge?
Do I want to continue the plea to the misdemeanor?
Yes, and have me do the sentence? All right. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to help you with this?
I don't really know. Do you think I need one?
Well, the case was charged as a misdemeanor rather than a felony. They reduced it further. You confessed. And so the only really issue was how much is it? Is it 2,486 or 3,050? So you waived your
2,486
right
was,
to have an attorney at the time of the plea, but
Mhm.
if you wish to have an attorney for sentencing, I can appoint one, or I can simply try to get the matter set for sentencing in the next couple of days.
Okay, yeah, let's do an attorney, because I'd like to try to figure that out too as well, because I know the amount was
Alright.
like 2,000.
I'll appoint an attorney to assist at sentence. Defendant
will I
wishes to,
Sorry.
yes,
Will I stay here until sentencing?
yes. I'm not gonna let you out. I've been chasing you around. You got charges in multiple jurisdictions. You posted a cash or surety bond. You didn't come. You got out of the hospital. You didn't come. You had charges in other jurisdictions.
I
My
know.
intention was to set this within the next couple of days, but I'm not sure I can get an attorney that quickly to
Well, I
be
mean,
on the,
spent the last few months, right after I got out of the hospital, I had my ex arrested on domestic violence. It's been a very tricky, almost hostage-like situation. I haven't made
was
any
that here in
progress.
St. Joe County or
It was in Kalamazoo
Kalamazoo?
County. He got domestic violence and felonious assault on August 26th. So now I'm trying to clean up all of my messes that I've created in the last 6 months with said relationship.
What's his name?
Mark Bird.
You told me you were working for Bird Property Management when I talked to you earlier.
Yeah.
Is that him?
That was him.
All right. So you're not currently employed?
No, sir.
Do you have children?
I do.
Where are they?
My two youngest ones and my oldest one are in Mendon with my ex.
Mark Bird?
No, Richard Fromm. Mark Bird is the Kalamazoo address that I am going to move from.
Richard Fromm is the children's father in Mendon?
Yes.
All right, there's certainly a lot to unpack here. Um, well, you're set for sentencing. Already set for next Monday at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I will get an attorney appointed for you. Sentence for 9/18/23 at 11. Appoint an attorney to assist with sentence. Yeah, the allegation that the affidavit isn't quite clear. As I indicated, you acknowledge you just took the deposit and kept it, and there's a dispute about how much it was. So yes, you're gonna stay here until at least next Monday. In fact, the address that we have in Kalamazoo is the address with the person that's charged with assaulting you. And that's not a good situation.
That's not where I'm gonna be going. No,
All right, well, this is pay me now or pay me later. You stole $3,000, give or take, from your employer. And I've been chasing you around since early summer. You're here now. We'll get this resolved. And I will get an attorney to help you with the sentencing. It will be next Monday. next Monday at 11 o'clock.
We can't just do sentencing now.
No, I need to know more information. We need to pin down that dollar amount of restitution. It's a substantial difference between what you say and what
I'll
they
plead
say.
to the highest amount.
All right, well, I'll see you next Monday. Well, good morning, Mr. Truckee.
Morning, Judge.
Thank you, Matea.
Perfect. No problem. Have a good one.
Good morning. You're Nicole Gunnels?
Yes.
I've seen you recently at the time you entered your plea in the embezzlement charge in file 222357. You pled guilty to embezzlement less than $200 with a restitution question. When we finished that, then that was back in July. You failed to appear. You got picked up on a bench warrant in September, and we discussed the matter at a bench warrant arraignment. Public defender was here. You at that time said you wished to continue your plea, but you wish to have an attorney appointed to assist you with the sentencing. Mr. Luke Knopfinger was originally appointed. He had a conflict because he represents your friend Mark Bird in another case. So Mr. Ross Truckee was appointed to assist in this case. And as we've discussed, this is complicated. You had Kalamazoo charges, Allegan charges, and you have another case here, file 231119, where it's alleged that you and Mr. Bird pushed out $600 worth of merchandise from the farm and home store on May 21st. He's been arrested on that matter and he's bound over to circuit court. I don't know if he's in our jail. Prosecutor Marvin texted me emailed early in the morning, said he wouldn't be here. And we still have an unresolved issue regarding the restitution in this case. So Mr. Truckee, thank you for getting in here. You're kind of all over the place here. What would you like me to know?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like the court to know that, A, the guilty plea that Ms. Gunnels entered was without any consideration from the prosecution. It was as an act of contrition. She did not, there was a reduction in the charge, but there was
Yeah, it
no
was reduced
resolution in
from
another
over
case.
200. It was reduced from a felony, then over $200, then to less than 200. So it was reduced to a 93-day.
So there was consideration for it, but not relating to her other matters. So I do want to show
Well,
just,
she was pretty straight up about it when I talked to her. She didn't beat around the bush. So I thought that was a plus.
and there's also a letter in the police report attachments from November the 2nd of 2022 that she signed in the presence of her supervisor, I believe, admitting to the theft. She admitted to it then, she admitted to it now. I don't have a reason for the failure to appear in August, other than Your Honor knows that folks that struggle. I would just ask that she be afforded the opportunity to be released from incarceration on this charge and return to a life away from Mr. Bird, who may have been the driving force in all of these cases. And try to get herself back on her feet out in the world.
Well, in fact, Mr. Byrd, in addition to being a co-defendant, is also charged with assaulting her, and I think he's got a domestic violence charge pending in Kalamazoo County. Are you done with Kalamazoo County?
Yes, they revoked my probation.
That's
why
what you told me last time. So Kalamazoo is done.
I have to call Al again
And-
for my court date.
All right, and unclear about, that's what I wrote. Kalamazoo is done. What were you struggling with? Opioids or methamphetamine?
With the embezzlement or with all of it?
Just all in general.
The embezzlement was honestly just a really crappy time in life. I was taking care of all of the grown-ups in the house, and I had just been arrested for the first time, so it was just stressful. Bills were due, and I acted without really thinking. These new ones, it was a shitty relationship, and drugs were involved. Yeah,
But which drugs?
methamphetamines.
Okay, that was my guess. Sometimes it's both. You weren't very happy. I left you in jail 8 days ago, but you're much better today than you were 8 days ago.
I am better than I was a month ago.
How long have you been in jail altogether?
About almost 4 weeks. Sobered up in Kalamazoo and realized how much better it felt. Being put on health
All right,
packs.
you got brought here from Allegan, I think. So you went, do you
It
know
was
when
from
you?
Kalamazoo. I paid the bond in
All right,
Allegan.
and so how long were you in Kalamazoo?
About 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Do you remember what day you went to jail in Kalamazoo?
August 28th. About 2 weeks.
And where are you going to go?
I have a roommate. His name is Wyatt. He lives on Street. He's got a stable, secure property, cameras around. He's already got a trespass order against Mark Bird, because he showed up there the day I was arrested. So he's gonna be my main support system.
Well, he's here today, which is a good sign. He's
Yeah.
not just some imaginary person.
No,
So what town is that?
It's Comstock.
The problem is I've got a restitution question.
Mhm.
So I almost have to put you on a probation.
mhm.
Embezzlement under $200. So if we give you credit from August 28th, that's 3 days in August and 18 days in September, which is 21 days. 21 days credit, 21 days. A 12-month probation. The fine is 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee. I'm even going to waive the attorney fee.
Thank you. Ron.
Not that you haven't earned it, but you weren't in from the start, but the restitution is somewhat at issue. The deposit was 2,486.47. And then they claimed it was something higher than this, but the slip actually said 2,486. So restitution of 2,487. We'll round it up to Dollar General. Three Rivers, South Main. So how much is that? 2,487 plus 125 equals 2612. Payment due 1 year. No drugs, no alcohol. We used to have an embezzler treatment group that I started when I was prosecutor. It has failed because nobody uses it. But it has to do with the childhood trauma that people have. A lot of embezzlers are women. There's a very strong connection between embezzlement and childhood trauma. It was an excellent program. And I was disappointed when it just died on the vine. The circuit court, we'd have a $50,000 embezzlement and they wouldn't put anybody in the group. So we have something less, but I'm not going to do that. So no drugs, no alcohol, test as directed. This is going to be difficult because you're going to be living somewhere else. You've also got charges pending in other jurisdictions. I don't know what they're going to do.
I think they're looking at the same thing, having me testify against Mark Bird in that case as well.
Well, in the retail fraud that you have pending, the bond, you failed to appear, and the bond was set in the amount of $2,000 cash or surety. Are you going to be able to post 2,010%?
I think we're gonna try.
All right, you can get out for $200. Now it's set for a pretrial with just the county prosecutor. Do you want me to appoint an attorney for you in that case?
Yes, please.
All right,
Your Honor, I don't mind taking the appointment out of order.
all right.
Since we already know.
You understand the circumstance. Sentence in 222357.
Would you happen to have the time of that pretrial, Judge?
I'm gonna move it to the attorney pretrial Friday. Appoint Ross Truckee or other counsel. I'm not supposed to have a direct input on who gets appointed, but it makes the most sense. Maybe they can confer with Mr. Stickley, and you're willing to accept it. Set attorney pretrial for 10/6 at 8:30. If you post bond, it's your obligation to be here on October 6th at 8:30. If you don't, we'll have you brought over here. And when you get out, you need to contact our probation department because I put you on a probation. Now, right now, we've only got one probation officer here. So if you bond out today, and it's going to be hard for you to get back and forth from Comstock to here. But if you do bond out today, come right back here to the courthouse and go down to probation.
Okay.
If you don't, whatever day you do bond out, come back here to the courthouse.
Okay.
All right. you're good to go.
Okay, so the court not on the 25th now?
No,
Okay.
pretrial on 9/25 is canceled.
Okay,
That's a good question.
I'll make sure.
All right, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you my contact information. Find out.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
You're Ross.
Thanks, Judge.
Mr. Baker, would you come up and have a seat?